All right,
Hi,
what's up, guys? This is the first ever episode of the Parking Lot Lads podcast, where we just talk about whatever we want to talk about, right? So I'm Stoy, and I would like every one of our three other co-hosts to introduce themselves, starting with Eli.
All right. What's up, fellas? I'm Eli.
Yo, I'm
Awesome.
Ethan. How's it going?
yo, it's me, Toast or Rylan. I like fish.
W's. All right, so our today's topic is the future of video games.
All right.
What's up with that?
So I'd say to start out with the future of video games, I'd say we go for upcoming games that are coming out and our thoughts and opinions on them, and what we might want to see in those games. I'll go ahead and go first. So one of the most games I'm hyped for coming up soon, Jedi Survivor. I know it's only like 5 days away from release, but I can't wait for that game to come out. I'm hoping it holds some of the same aspects as the first game did for Jedi Fallen Order, like with a lightsaber customization and the ponchos and stuff. But I'm also hoping to I don't know, see something new, like maybe some cool new Jedi mechanics or something.
Facts. I'm really excited for that game as well. I just
I
hope it's
didn't
not
even
gonna be
know it was
$80.
coming out in 5 days.
I didn't know it was coming out at all.
Yeah.
If there's not
Actually, so
ponchos,
excited.
Hmm?
if there's not ponchos, I'm charging the mound.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Fair
don't
enough,
I
fair
don't know of any games that are coming out soon, except for Arc 2, which is on the back burner now.
I do have one.
Okay,
Let's hear it.
go ahead.
Probably one of the most anticipated video games of all time, GTA 6.
Ooh.
Been in development forever now. Probably won't get it until I retire, but I'm so excited for that game. Because
Any hopes for it?
There.
I hope it's not awful. You know,
Huh.
I know everyone's expectations are gonna be through the roof because it's been in development forever. But if it's anything like the fifth one, I think it'll do fine in terms of sales and entertainment. But yeah,
I'm just
I think it'll be good.
for GTA 6, my main hopes is that like it has a lot more missions and stuff for online if they have their own version of online, and that they get modders and hackers way more under control. Because I know
Right.
playing GTA 5, I would get really annoyed because I'd get like a bajillion dollars and it wouldn't even feel worth playing anymore.
Yeah, I get that. Um, I just don't want to get chased on an oppressor every time I load into the game. And like the second I load in, and boom, there's an explosion in front of me. I don't I don't know. I don't see the point in doing that.
That's fair. That's fair. So
I've never played GTA.
you'll have that.
Maybe you should try it.
All right, well, I have two games and a DLC I'd like to talk about.
All right.
First up, Breath of the Wild: Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, buddy.
It is probably my most anticipated game right now, and I'm gonna buy it on release day.
That's valid. I just hope it's like as good as it's hyped up to be. That's my main hope.
Yeah.
Because if it's not as good as sounds like it is, then I'm gonna be sad if I spend $70 for it. It's bad.
I'm not buying the game if there's no Hyrule baddies. Stop playing.
That's so true. That is so true.
Nah.
I'm probably not getting it in general. I don't know. Breath of the Wild just wasn't my thing.
Mm,
So
I know personally.
That's understandable.
Yeah, that's fair. I really enjoyed the first game. I can't wait. I'm just really excited for the building aspect. That's what I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
There's building.
Like building cars
Mhm.
and boats and stuff.
like scrap mechanic style.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yo, that's
Not
cool.
exactly.
Like it's similar, but not quite.
If you were to compare it to a game, what do you think it most resemble as the building aspect?
Well, a lot of people are
Uh,
resembling it to
probably,
Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and that makes
Oh,
me
Yeah,
scared.
didn't somebody make like a cover that was about or no, they took the something from the announcement or whatever and put Banjo Kazooie nuts and bolts on
I think so.
it.
I
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah,
funny.
exactly that.
that's
yeah.
awesome, dude.
Legend of Zelda Nuts and Bolts.
That's pretty great.
When I first saw that, before somebody actually told me that it's a new Zelda game and it's not called Nuts and Bolts, I kind of believed that.
Is there a release date for this game?
Yeah, it's pretty soon actually.
Yeah, it is pretty
Yo.
soon.
I figured it was this year, but I wasn't sure.
The release date is May 12th.
Oh,
So
snap.
that's coming up
like
quick.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
It's coming up
Three-
quick.
2-3 weeks pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. My next game I'm really excited for is Hollow Knight Silk Song.
They're making another Hollow Knight game?
Yeah, where you play as Hornet.
What? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
dude, I am
Bro.
so excited.
Now you got me excited, bro.
You play as Hornet, there's like whole new crafting systems
Mhm.
and like more abilities and just a whole new place to explore too.
Ooh.
Like it's not set up, it's not even set in the original game, it's set in a new place.
Ooh. That sounds really good. Now you've got me hyped.
And hold on, there's a YouTube channel. Let me find it. It's it's pretty amazing. Okay, I found the channel.
All right, let's see
Here it
it. Let's
is.
see it. Daily Silksong news. Oh shoot! A whole channel.
They they post a video daily of what there is new
Oh.
about the game.
Nice.
Oh, I.
Most of it is there is no change, and it's like 30 seconds long.
I.
Yeah, I see 828 news. No. 827 news. No.
That's goofy.
Day 609 and 610 news. Yes.
Bruh.
Let's see.
As
What
you
day
can
was the
tell,
last
news
news?
about this game is few and far between, but seeing as how the original game took over 5 years, I'm okay with waiting.
That's fair.
The last time there was potential for news was day 748. It was maybe.
Bruh.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
It goes
Dude.
back more than 100 days to even get some news.
Dang.
Other than the
Hey.
maybe. There's kind of old on 652.
Dang.
Yeah, that's
610 was the last yes news day.
that is
Gosh.
the condition of Hollow Knight Silk Song at the current moment.
So that was 118 days ago.
Bro.
Or 218 days ago.
That's a while.
But yeah, I'd highly recommend watching the trailer
I
or the few they have out. Very good watch.
think I will later. You got some
All right. And then the DLC I've got in mind is the $30 Factorio DLC with an unknown release date.
what?
That's really?
Yeah,
Nah.
They have any content in it, or
yeah, it's like entirely content.
I'd hope so.
why am I just now hearing of this?
For real? This is
Yeah,
old news pretty much.
Bro,
Hold on.
why is the
I gotta
DLC
go
as much as
see.
the game?
The game's 35 now.
They,
They just bumped the price
it's
up like this
because
week or last week.
they're pretty much making a new game. Dude.
Bet.
It's basically a new game, but labeled as DLC. That's goofy.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you can get new games all the time with all of the overhaul mod packs too.
Yeah, but this one's official.
That's
This one's official.
that's fair. Make SpaceX official.
At this point, most probably think it is official. Yeah, it was last year. They said on February 4th, 2022, they posted on their Steam page Friday Facts number 367 expansion news. Uh, their word was almost 1 year ago, we said, we don't think that the expansion will take less than a year to develop. And they said, it has been less than a year and it is not finished. So we kept our word on that and it's still not posted or up.
Bruh.
Did you say that was 2022?
2022, over a year ago, yeah.
Wow.
Bro.
Well, and it's been over 2 years.
Gosh dang.
Okay, Ethan, do you have a game?
Yes, I do. It's unfortunate. So, it's Wildcard's sequel to Ark. Ark 2, which was announced in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
all the way back in 2020 at the Game Awards, was originally set to release last year, delayed into quarter 4 of this year, and is now further delayed to next year.
Hmm.
I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about what Wildcards put out officially as to what they're putting in, but I think Wildcards got it. They have put so much work into just Ark
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think they would release Ark 2 if they didn't think it would be better than the original.
That's true. And
That's fair.
I mean, a look you can take on that is whenever a company or publisher delays a release, it usually means that there's something wrong with the game. So then they're taking the time to fix it instead of releasing an unfinished game. Cyberpunk.
I do believe when it comes to Arc 2, they recently had major like access to Unreal Engine 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe they're working on making Arc 2 into Unreal Engine 5.
I
But
don't blame them.
because of them delaying the game so much, they have announced that they're going to do a remastered version of Arc 1, which will be on Unreal Engine 5.
Oh.
It's just gonna overhaul game, make it look a hell of a lot nicer. They also said they would add new things as well, new content.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I wholeheartedly believe they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it'll be a good game. Like it delaying it just shows that they actually care about the game and are putting as much work as they can into it.
So I found a quote from them. It is a struggle with Unreal 5 since they want to put it on the new Unreal Engine.
Mm-hmm.
They said that Unreal Engine 5 is incredibly new technology to us, and we aim to use this cutting edge tech to its fullest potential while creating a game with never before achieved scope. As we learn more about the engine and develop the sequel, we have adapted our workflows, adjusted our pipelines to accommodate this next generation paradigm. And because of everything that involves, we need more time for development, which is fair. They announced it 4 or 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll release it in 4 years. That's better than GTA 6.
That's
Hey.
true. That's true.
But part of what I'm hoping to see, I guess it's kind of far out there because like a completely different swing from
Mhm.
what they did in Arc 1, but being someone who knows and would like to continue to learn more about the creatures that lived before us, I'd like to see them kind of break it down into either like on a map with like different regions or like totally different maps or whatever to split these creatures into areas that they would either actually live with or put them with creatures that lived at the same time they did. Because I know I
Yeah,
did
that's
some
pretty
looking
fair.
when I got bored.
Mhm.
The current water creatures at the time or in Arc 1, at most 2 or 3 of them lived during the same actual time period.
Hmm.
I think seeing something where they put out a like a maybe it's just a map with certain regions and it's broke down into the Cretaceous, Jurassic, um, the Triassic, the Eocene, and things like that. To get all these different time periods where these creatures lived and put them with creatures they lived with, so we can see kind of what it would have been like
Mhm.
to have been a small mammal living during the Jurassic. I think that'd be cool.
That's true. It's fair.
You know, I say I do agree that they should keep it within their own time zones, or you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
I think the big issue for them really is that you've got these classic dinosaurs like the T-Rex and the Triceratops and the Stegosaurus. Well, there's some of those didn't even exist at the same time, and for them to be in the game is generally seen as something important because they're well known and classic.
Right, right.
And so I feel like that's where the studio is struggling in that they have to pick out maybe lesser known dinosaurs to fill space.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
you're gonna go into the game and be like, "Oh, what's this? A Ankylosaurus? I'm okay." And then, that's all you play because you didn't recognize the name of the critter.
I think
That's
that can
true.
be a good thing as well, though, because yeah, some of them are not as well remembered, but at the same time, you can shed light onto those less remembered creatures. Like, for example, what is it, Gigantopithecus, or like your big primitive monkeys. Like,
mammals in general are
yeah,
so
Yeah.
Mhm.
underrepresented in Ark.
That's
It
I
fair.
it
think
takes a big focus on creatures that lived during the Mesozoic era and not much after. And as mammals took this place of reptiles on the earth.
Mhm. I feel like the biggest, like one of the bigger issues as well would be like the target audience for some of these games. I feel like it's more of like that teenager, like child to teenager
Yeah.
range, and majority of those people are looking more so for iconic and haha funny dinosaur let's play. So if they don't
Yeah.
get that, if they don't get that and they get just history accurate unknown dinosaurs, they're gonna be confused and be like, man, this game sucks, and then not play it. That's probably
Yeah,
another
I
thing they have to
agree.
keep in mind.
I think also there's with art you can add not so historically accurate creatures. For example, the colossal sea turtle. I forget this name, but
oh, what is its name?
here I'll look it up real
I
quick.
know what it I know what it's talk I know what you're talking about. It looks like the one.
The Megachelon,
Yes, it looks like a
giant.
Pokemon.
It does, but
It's
yeah,
probably because it's based off of the same thing.
obviously it's not gonna exist to that size, right? Y-
Yeah.
In Arc, you can build houses on it for sake, but it's cool to add either exaggerated or fantasy creatures into the game to give it a little more enjoyment.
Hmm. That's
Yeah,
fair.
I agree.
That's fair. Well, anyone got anything else to add about Ark?
Mm,
And
no.
I will
I
be
kind of.
honest.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So I like that take of um like these creatures, more so exaggerated creatures too. I think adding their own it like adds their own personal touch to the game to not base it solely off of history accurate 100% copy and paste from what it was on Earth into the game.
Right.
I think it adds their own little personal touch on it and makes it their own game as opposed to I don't know any other dinosaur type games, but if there was one out there that was just a direct copy and paste of
Mhm.
the real life uh I guess the real life shape and structure of these creatures.
Mhm.
Yeah, but then the thing is, like, we don't even know the actual shape and structure of these creatures for the most part.
Right.
That's true. Because it's just isn't a lot of it just based off the bones they find, right?
Yeah.
And
That's all you can really base it off of.
there's no promise that that's in the original orientation and whatnot that it was way back when, but
Mm-hmm.
it's all right.
Just to wrap this kind of thing up, some release dates for other games we've been talking about. Starting with GTA 6, who freaking knows, right? They say the next year, every year. So Google says holiday 2024, but let's be serious, we have no idea, right?
I don't believe it.
Jedi Survivor is next week, I think.
April 28th.
Yep.
A-
Yep.
Wow.
That's
yeah,
5 days today from the time of recording.
Yeah.
Zelda Breath of the
No
Wild,
promise this will be out by then.
something something, I forget. Fallen Tears,
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the
Yep.
Kingdom. I was close.
Nuts and bolts.
Nuts and
Nuts and
bolts. Yeah,
bolts.
May 12th. Arc 2 says end of 2024, but the remastered is, I believe, end of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And what else did we say? We said
Silk Song
Silk
is
Song is
unknown, rumored to be this year, but it's not really for sure. And the Factorio DLC is also unknown.
all right. All
All
right.
right. I'd like to discuss one more game before we move on.
Okay, one more.
So
Again.
there's not a lot of details about it, and it doesn't have a name, and it also doesn't have a release date. But it's the game. It's the Star Wars game that's in development. It's supposed to be an open world game.
Ooh, I think I've heard of that.
Like I haven't heard
This
much,
this is one I've heard of.
but yeah, I've heard of it, and it's supposed to be like a Star Wars open world game where you can like not only just like like mess around on the planets, but I'm pretty sure it's open galaxy as well.
Getting developed by
That's really cool.
Ubisoft, right?
I believe it's either them or EA. I don't remember who's developing it, but I'm really hyped for it. One of my like I'm hoping to see either you can either play as like already made characters, but I'm really hoping to see like some custom characters of different types, like either Jedi, Sith, Mandalorian, Bounty Hunter. That'd be cool in my opinion.
Like classes almost.
Yeah, I feel like that
So
could be cool.
I did a quick Google search. What I'm seeing is it's developed by Ubisoft. It's all it says is Snowdrop, the Star Wars project, which is what we have been talking about.
Hmm.
Oh, the Snowdrop. It's an engine. Snowdrop is an engine.
So
It's a
yeah,
game engine.
it's just a
But
work in
yeah,
progress. There's not a lot about it yet, but I think that that game will have a lot of potential. I feel like it'll be many years before it comes out if they do it right, but
oh, most definitely.
like especially if it's open galaxy. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would,
In multiplayer too, that would be a chef's kiss.
yeah,
That would be cool.
online multiplayer would go crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
I hope it's like there's also some missions, but like also very open, like online, kind of like how GTA has their missions, but
that's what I
then
was.
open world and whatever,
That's what I
like
was gonna
online
ask. One or
multiplayer.
two.
That I feel like
Yeah.
that'd be cool. Like have a main story that you can play off of depending on the class, but also
Yeah.
just online multiplayer, mess around, explore the different planets and whatever. That'd be dope.
That would be cool. Do you think you could kind of do the Lord's work in an open world Star Wars game?
Um,
um,
I
I
wait a
would
minute.
love to spend my time killing
Get in my
space hookers.
speeder.
dude, that'd go crazy actually. Like
Beep beep. Get in my speeder.
Pulling up to Jabba's hut and just like shooting it up. Dude, that'd be hilarious.
Um, okay, so we talked about what we want to see, what video games we want to see. How about um how we think the future will affect video games, like
Um,
commonplace features.
I feel like
I think
oh my bad.
before we just go on to our first segment that the other three did not know about until right now, that is Fish of the Week. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. What do we got?
it's the rainbow trout.
All right.
Oh, all right, all right.
What a fishy fella.
What a fish.
So a fun rainbow trout fact: the largest rainbow trout ever caught was 48 pounds.
Ooh.
Oh,
And
that's a big
Wow.
there's the
fish.
guy that caught it. An
A big
absolute
boy.
Canadian Chad. Look at that
What a
jawline. Oh my
guy,
gosh.
bro. What a guy.
Ooh. That is huge.
That's a big fish.
Here's some rainbow trout fun facts. 11 to 18 inches in length, but can go up to 20. They
Hmm.
don't like polluted waters, and they return back to where they spawn.
Hmm.
That has been Fish of the Week, the rainbow trout.
W segment.
All right, all right.
All right, so commonplace features in video games, future expectations. Go.
I feel like for the future of video games, there as more and more technology comes out, they're gonna try to get it. I feel like they're gonna try to make like keep some cartoony and whatever, like depending on the basis of the game. But I feel like they're gonna try to make a lot of newer games as realistic as they can. Like they're already doing that, but I feel like as technology goes by,
Yeah.
it's just gonna get almost picture perfect, which could be
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think
cool, but I don't know how to feel
Mhm.
about it.
I think it goes without saying that VR is gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Oh yeah, I I feel like they're probably gonna end up expanding on the Oculus or Meta Quest or whatever they call it now, like as
Yeah.
much as they can. And I feel like they'll probably get it to the point of where it's just like some simple glasses or headset or something, and you don't even need controllers.
How cool
Sunglasses
would
would
that
be
Yeah.
be?
awesome.
And like partially that's a they want money thing, and then the other part is that's just cool technology in general.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be pretty wicked, but
To
Yeah, I'd
it's
say.
gonna be really expensive.
That's
yeah,
true.
to piggyback off of what Eli was saying about new technology, I think AI will play a big part of future video games. Like,
Oh yeah.
as much as people hate it right now, how it's copying art, music, stuff like that. But imagine you're playing like Skyrim or something, right?
Hmm.
And you're walking up to an NPC. Instead of the three dialogue options you always get, you get a text box or like an Alexa where you talk to it. And based on your tone of voice, what's being said in the message, stuff like that, you'll get a unique circumstance or encounter that happens every single time.
Yeah, that's
I think that would be amazing.
that'd be pretty cool. I feel like for some games that wouldn't fit this style, because like like there's games with like predetermined endings and whatnot. So I feel like unique NPCs like that would ruin that game style. But I feel like it could still be really cool to get those kind of unique NPCs.
I really
I've
think
kind of
the
got
opposite. Like,
I
so
kind of got
I
two opinions on that.
go ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry, man.
It's
Go
okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I've only got one.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
the AI in video games having these unique NPCs that like they'll probably have a set personality
Mm-hmm.
that they try to stick by, but I think having them and being able to kind of make the game your own is kind of it'd be basically like a your own sandbox game where you
Yeah.
could whatever you say to them make it your own and kind of play how you want to play it.
Yeah.
I think that'd make not saying they have to do that in every single game that they release.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is the first to reach that stage of development, but making it to the point where it's your own game and you can kind of play it how you want,
Right.
do your own thing, and have your own conversation with your little guide NPC friend. That would
Yeah.
be like a cool thing to see in the future of game development.
Okay. I my one other thought on like the AI NPCs and whatever is I just hope that doesn't make games with predetermined endings. So like I don't know, like Undertale for example, that's got 3 set endings that you have to do something to make it happen, which I guess NPCs wouldn't really qualify for that game, but I feel like that's a bad example. But either way, the idea the idea I'm getting across here is some games NPCs are what you do with the NPCs are needed for how the ending goes. And I feel like AI type NPCs might affect that kind of game style. But it could still be good. I just feel like some games it wouldn't work that well. But
Yeah.
It's understandable. I've got two like really big opinions.
okay.
So the first one is right now all AI does is really steal art from the artist without credit, which is really awful.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much people will like praise it for being artificial intelligence, like the name suggests, but right now it's kind of just like a parrot that repeats back to you what it's seen.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like it'd grow.
really
Like
I really hope AI gets better in the future, but also that we get the training data in a better method that does not harm the artist. Because, if you have something that can make art for you and all it does is churn out countless and countless images, what's going to happen to those artists who are working on their own art? And it takes longer for them, and then they can't compete with, you know, some binary.
Yeah.
They're out of a job.
That's true.
So what I'm saying in something that's kind of against my own political views is that, maybe we regulate this a little bit more.
That's fair. I feel
Maybe
What's
we
up? Since when?
So
Okay, let's reset the vibe real quick. Everyone count to 2 and then say your favorite color.
1, 2,
2,
orange.
whoa.
what comes after one?
Blue.
Okay, my favorite color is periwinkle. Stop playing with me. All right, where were we?
Okay, okay. So anyway, you shouldn't shoot the artist in an effort to make the technology better. That's my opinion.
Gotcha.
That's fair.
My other big opinion is that when we get AI up to the quality that we can get it to,
Mm-hmm.
the porn is gonna be crazy.
Oh my gosh, dude. What even?
That's a joke. That's a joke. Okay,
I feel like that's not a
I
joke for some
swear.
of us in here.
Ouch.
Ethan, ahem.
Um, You know, I don't think
I'm
Riley's
sorry,
too far
Ethan.
off of what he's saying for future. I mean, maybe other than the porn, hopefully. But
Oh, you
like
mean it? It's going
AI
to
is,
happen.
yeah, it's going to happen. But AI is probably one of the biggest funded research and development ideals, I guess you call it, right now. Is
Mhm. Yeah, I know that.
everything's getting AI. Snapchat has AI.
I gotta give credit to Snapchat. Theirs isn't it. Oh, it kind of feeds off of what you give it, and not like pulling from other sources and stuff. Which right now
That's
is
really what
okay.
an AI does. It you feed it information and then it responds in a way that you program it to off of that information.
Yeah.
I mean, the first Alexa, which is like seen as one of the first AI assistants, I guess, came out in 2014, which, well, yeah, it was 9 years ago, but at the same time, like, it is being pushed and developed so quickly. Everything has an AI now.
That's
Yeah, but
true.
then comes into the question, you know, is it really necessary? Do I need something at the top of my Snapchat constantly there that I can't get rid of unless I pay money?
Yeah, it's taking
Joke's
my
on you
pin
guys.
spot.
I
Facts,
don't have
bro.
one.
Dude, just you wait. It's gonna force you to get one at some point.
Hope.
I didn't have one at the beginning, and now I do.
That's why I'm not updating Snapchat.
I didn't even
Took my
update it.
pin spot, and I'm mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whack.
I've
I got my I got I got some binary above my girlfriend. What the heck?
Bro. I I
Yeah,
feel I
I
just
think you
that's
said
that's
that,
that's your
which is more
problem though.
important in my life.
I just feel like
Yeah, I know you're
as
trying to relate.
as they develop more and more AI technology, it's gonna get even more out of hand than it is. Like
Yeah.
I just feel like I hope they don't get to a point where it can almost perfectly mimic a real person. And like this sounds movie type, but like if they become sentient, nah.
iRobot.
Like
Okay.
No thanks.
Okay. An AI is only as good as the training data you give it,
that's fair.
ultimately.
That's facts.
So there's also no way for it to become sentient, as far as I know, because we haven't discovered really, how that works.
That's facts. I
We don't even know how we're alive right now.
we're probably chilling. I don't think it'll ever
Actually,
become sentient, but
At least in our lifetime.
I read an
yeah, at
article
least in
Yeah.
our lifetime.
yesterday. I read an article yesterday about how a robot killed itself over labor for 15 minutes. They were moving boxes in a factory, and it by itself shut off.
Probably because it didn't want to
You know
do
what?
it.
If
And
I
we,
had a if I had a 8 to 5 factory job, I would too.
oh, here we go. So it was okay. Robot security guard commits suicide in public fountain.
What?
What?
Here, I'll copy the link.
What? What?
Man, computer science.
Which is definitely interesting. This is actually from
Bruh.
2017.
Okay, this is you can tell this is partially just like from the environment it was in because there's no edge on those stairs. And that thing's probably not programmed to look for drops, so it probably just fell in.
Probably.
Went for a swim.
Because
That's
probably what they did for that thing is they gave it a GIS, global imaging system, position. No, it's GPS. GPS. They gave it a GPS
Positioning.
position and a GPS boundary, right?
Hmm.
And that probably didn't include. It probably included that fountain, but not the area, of the actual fountain.
Yeah.
I mean, it did include the area of the actual fountain where it shouldn't have. So it decided, let's look around there, see if anyone needs help. Oh, I killed myself. Average Tuesday.
Yeah.
Average Tuesday for a robot security guard.
That's
Bruh.
probably what happened.
Paul Blart Mallbot.
Probably. Oh, Blur Mobot. Bro. Paul Blart
It's
Mall
like
Cop
naming
versus
your
Paul
school
Blart Mall Bot. Who do you think wins?
Depends who has a Segway.
Paul Blart
Yeah,
versus
well,
Paul
from
Bot.
well, from the looks of it, the bot's on wheels, but it's also dead.
Paul Blart
Yeah.
got the Segway, but the bot got the wheels.
Paul Blart all the way.
I
Okay,
feel
but who's losing? A cardiac arrest or a short circuit?
No, he doesn't have cardiac arrest. He just has the one like I need sugar or I'm gonna die
Diabetes.
disease.
Diabetes.
No, I don't think it was diabetes. I don't think it was diabetes.
I,
He's got low
hypoglycemia.
insulin.
Yeah. Hypoglycemia or something like that.
Hypo or hyperglycemia. One of the two. I forget.
I don't know.
It
It's one of
was
the two. I know it
One
is.
of the two is low, the other one's high.
Hypoglycemia is
yeah,
it's
hypoglycemia.
hyper. Hyper is the one where it gets too high.
He had hypo.
Hypo is the one. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Gotcha.
Are we really talking about the symptoms that Paul Blart has right now?
Let's go back to video games.
Yeah.
Paul Blart
I've
Mall
kinda
Cop
got-
video game.
Oh jeez.
Thoughts?
That'd be a thing.
You are Paul Blart.
I feel like it'd be like skate.
Yeah. That'd be great. It's like reverse skate.
Dude, that'd go crazy.
That'd be art.
For real.
I've got a direction for video games that isn't quite as bright that I thought about earlier.
All right.
So I feel like the issue that we're going to face is maybe not so much like a lack of content, but a lack of genres to expand into. Like, I would say right now, the only people who are excessively, legitimately playing some of the genres that were popular 5, 10 years ago are those people who do it for a living. The people who do it for a job are the ones who I most often see playing like shooter games like Call of Duty and stuff.
All right.
The
Yeah.
ones who stream it, record it, post it on YouTube, stream on Twitch, things like that. They do this for their job. Like, this is what they do every day. And I feel like that and then kids are also the ones getting into it. So I feel like it's kind of these two spectrums, basically. It's the two ends of a spectrum where you have the people who do it professionally or the people who are just getting into it. And it kind of cramps out and pushes out those players who just want to sit down after school, after work, or whatever and play because everyone else is just better.
Yeah.
They have significantly more time to play it because they're getting paid for it.
I think
Yeah,
that's why
that's true.
skill-based matchmaking gets dunked on so much, is because they're putting you with people of the same skill or better, and you just don't get those back in the day Christmas newbies, right? But you just
Yeah.
you dunk on yourself, and it's just not the same anymore.
Yeah.
And then I feel
I
like
think
these big companies, Activision, and like these big name games, Activision, Skyrim, I can't think of any other ones like Call of Duty franchise, FIFA, Madden, 2K. They keep putting out the same content every year, every other year, and
yeah,
putting
that's
out
exactly what I was
basically
thinking.
the same game with a new title and new names. Like for Call of Duty's sake, you go in and in one game it's the PP Bison, and in the next game it's the Bulldog or something like that. I don't know. Like, it's just these guns that are updated to fit the graphics and then have a new name and new maps, or even like remakes of old maps, like they've done Nuketown. Love it. Love the Black Ops part of the Call of Duty franchise for it. That they have recreated Nuketown in every single Black Ops game they've released. And they keep it fresh because they give it a new look.
Yeah.
but it's still the same. It's still the same map, the same feel that it was. What 20, almost 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago when they released
Wow.
Black Ops One.
Yeah.
That's old.
Yeah.
That's
I
older than us, almost. Not
I
just as old as us. And it's just been recreated and has the same feel that it did. I
I
would assume
do
when it was released.
I do
Right.
agree with that, but for like um Call of Duty especially, I mean not so much for the sport games. I know Madden at least used to have somewhat of a campaign, but for these games that have campaigns that tell you a story through different eras, like Call of Duty, you go through
Yeah,
World War
those are
II,
cool.
the
Yeah.
future with Infinite Warfare, and that one may have sucked, but it was a variety, right?
Yeah.
So
Black
these
Ops
games
4.
are Black Ops 4 is oh man.
They
These
didn't have
games are
one.
at least Call of Duty. This the multiplayer is the exact same, right?
Yeah.
But the campaigns are telling a unique story every time, and I think that's important
And
Yeah.
that
then
they're not
there's the Modern
copy paste.
Warfare branch of Call of Duty. So the Modern Warfare branch does campaign, multiplayer, and then co-op.
Mhm.
No zombies.
The co-op is it's basically the same thing every time you play it. It's a set mission to do, and so every time you play it, you're doing this set mission. You have boundaries to follow and things to do. Then that's what I like about the multiplayer is that you don't have anything to do. Or what I like about Black Ops,
Mhm.
their side of it, they have the zombies instead of co-op, and
Yeah.
so they have the zombies maps that follow a story. Like they started out in Black Ops, or not even Black Ops One, World at War,
Mhm.
and then Black Ops One, Black Ops Two, Three, Four, and Cold War, and they're telling a story. They had one story, I don't know the name of it, and now
Mhm.
they've got in Black Ops in Cold War the story of the Dark Ether and how it, and they keep building on it in every single map, and I really like that about the zombies. But it's to a point you play through the story and then it just
Mhm.
gets old.
That's fair.
Like the campaigns do. You play through the campaign once, and then maybe you go back and try it on veteran mode because why not? And then you don't ever play it again.
I know, like, for me, I tried to play Black Ops 1 and then 2 back to back, and I had a blast with Black Ops 1's campaign. But when I tried to play 2, because of the fact I binged it, but I just couldn't because a lot of the same stuff, just different story, slightly different missions and such. So,
Honestly, I think the biggest issue with the video game market right now is oversaturation.
yeah, that's fair.
I think, man, today I really want to play a shooter. So then I
Mm-hmm.
think to myself, do I want to play first person or third person? So say I decide first person, then do I want to play multiplayer or single player? And then I'm like, okay, I'll play single player. And then I've
'Cause
got
your
20
internet's
different
bad.
choices in my own library.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, 20 different choices in my own library for just this subgenre of a subgenre, you know?
that's true.
That's
But like
why
It,
if I want to
go ahead.
okay, like if I want to play a shooter, I've got one, two, three, I got 4 or 5 different Call of Duties. I've got Fallout, I've got CS:GO, Valorant, Rats Instagib. Um,
Rats Instagib.
Rats is different, bro.
I've got Stick Fight. I
Yeah,
mean, I wouldn't really call that a whole lot of a shooter, but
No.
there's
A
there's really
party.
just so many options right now.
Yeah. I feel
That's
it.
why
And
Halo,
that's why sometimes
Battlefield.
I'll just sit at my PC thinking, what should I play right now? And then I just sit there and chat with my friends and don't play anything because I can't decide.
Yeah, I do that too.
I think these unique games, unfortunately, they're not as popular as a lot of the, mainstream shooters or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but they're unique. Like, for example,
Hmm.
I know Rylan, you were playing Sifu. There's no game like
Yeah,
that where the difficulty changes based on what happens. You trade health for damage. You change your
yeah.
age. That's why
Mm-hmm.
it should be so popular, but it's not. For example, another example, me, I play Rocket League. There's no game like that. It's soccer, yeah, but there's no game with soccer and you're in a motor vehicle, right?
Yeah.
You could probably make something in GTA to do that.
I
Yeah, but
think there's like multiple layers to the oversaturation because there's the comfort in being able to purchase a thing and know what you're gonna get. But then there's also, oh, this game looks interesting, but I've never seen something like this before. Maybe I don't buy it, and that puts off people from games that could be some of the most influencing games of their lives, just
yeah,
because they're like, oh, this is different.
No one likes change, and it's unfortunate.
that's true.
Hmm.
I feel like like one thing with running out of ideas and whatever for the game market, which is what kind of what we started the conversation off of from Ethan's idea. I think that was the idea. But I feel like as time goes on, because obviously game developers will end up changing because the same person can't make the games forever. They gotta die at some point. I
Yeah.
feel like,
Right.
well, I mean, that's morbid, but it's true.
Yeah.
I feel like
It is
as
just true.
young, fresh people like get graduate with degrees or whatever, and we'll have like new creative minds coming into the developing game, and
Yeah.
they'll like I feel like they'll just like kind of change the gaming industry with ideas because while they'll base it off of current games, if it's younger people, they'll have experience in playing these games because I mean if they're interested in
Mhm.
game development, they've obviously had experience with video games. Like it'd be pretty weird if you were interested in that but have
Right.
never played a video game. So I feel like some of them, maybe not all, but some would have some of these similar thoughts and bring new creative ideas and whatever to the table that hopefully would reach out and make great new games that have never been
Yeah.
seen.
A
Yeah. So I like that thought of like a young twist. It kind of I just saw on my desktop Shotgun Farmers that while it is a
W
shooter
game.
game, it's a new twist on what we know to be a shooter game where when you
Right.
shoot, the ammo you shoot becomes seeds. They get planted into the ground by like it's based on chance.
Mhm.
But as the game goes on, this new plant grows with the same gun you were using, and you can go and pick that up and re-get your own gun. So it's
Right.
kind of a new twist on what we know to be a free-for-all or team deathmatch based shooter game,
Mhm.
but it's something new. It was fun to play for a while, and then I just
Yeah.
kind of forgot about it.
Dude, that's true.
That's why Fortnite got so popular. It's a third person shooter or whatever, but the ability to make your own cover and give yourself an advantage in a confrontation. It's
Like,
just
And it was a new
cause
genre
yeah,
of
that
for the
was
shooter game.
battle
at the
royale.
time it came
Yeah.
out. Wasn't that was new, right? Like
It
What?
was. I guess it wasn't new. It was a big.
it
It was
was
like a big development in the
because
genre because PUBG's existed for a long time.
yeah,
PUBG
but
and I think H1Z1
It
was
was.
wouldn't
getting
that have
into.
been the first like one with building and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
I'd
really
say
that's why
Fortnite was the perfect game for its time.
yeah. Like I remember when that first came out, being at school and Ethan's like, "Yo, you ever heard of Fortnite?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Download it. We're playing after school." I was like, "Aight." And then it slapped because it was like no other. Like I mean, it was like
Was
others, but it was its own twist. With
right, yeah.
Yeah.
I just remembered something while Eli was talking about the new generation of, you know, developers and game ideas.
mhm
Something that scares me is, for those of us that have TikTok, you scroll through a couple videos, you get Subway Surfers gameplay on the bottom of whatever's going on. My fear is the new generation is gonna have so little, um, what is it called? Attention span
Attention span.
that video games are gonna get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter because
It's not gonna be
like
like those of us who spend 80 hours, like I did in the first playthrough of Factorio to launch a rocket. It'll be
Exactly.
like these hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, like the length of a movie games.
Yeah.
I
Because the younger generation just doesn't have the attention span that the main audience of 8,
this
9,
generation.
10, several tens of hour long games have developed for.
that's fair. I see
Real,
that standpoint.
real quick,
Okay. What? Go ahead.
real quick, if I could say something, I would like to say that when we say, younger generation, we are generalizing and we're not talking about everyone in specific. And also, you know, I think we've got okay odds for right now because our generation, generalizing again, is going to be the next game developers. And we're probably going to have, you know, just a little bit of time before we get into the 2 hours of hyper death Family Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And while I see the point with the like attention span thing, I feel like for someone for someone that's going into game developing, they're gonna want a sense of how games are and like how the audience reacts before they make a game. And I feel like they could potentially see people don't tend to like shorter games, or they do, but then like the game dies out quick and then is never played again, except for like every once in a while. So while that may not affect some, I feel like that'll strike some people as I don't want my game to be short because then people won't play it as much and therefore people won't buy it as much. 'Cause-
That's what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
these games that were some of these games that were alive for a few months aren't touched anymore. Like I forget what it's called. The Warner Bros.
Splitgate.
Fighting game.
oh,
What was
Oh,
it called?
Multiverses?
Multiverses.
multiverses,
Multiverses. Dead. Splitgate. Dead.
which I
I
mean,
don't even know if you
Yeah,
could
shut down
call
its
it
servers.
Rumbleverse.
like
Splitgate did?
Yeah,
it,
Splitgate didn't have proper funding, which I understand.
yeah.
But
yeah.
Multiverses had all the funding in the world, owned by Warner Brothers of all
It's
things.
it's
And it
just
just
that it was
died.
with the type of game it was. It was a rip off. I mean, not a rip off, but you've already got like Smash Bros, which is super popular and such. So trying to make a game like that, it's gonna be hard to keep a long lasting game. I know some games in that aspect of dying off quick though, like a good example that sticks out to me is Minecraft Dungeons. Like that game had great potential, but they cut off the story way too short and then didn't release any DLC content for multiple months, I think it was. And everyone lost interest because the game was able to be beaten in like a day or two.
Oh yeah, I beat it in like the first 2 days.
Yeah, and after that game was beaten, you played it like maybe once or twice through again with some friends, but then the game just got boring and you couldn't really play it anymore because there was no story.
Even once or twice with friends, that's at the time when it came out, they didn't have cross platform, so you couldn't play with, like, I got it on my PC and Eli had it on his Xbox. We couldn't play together.
Yeah.
We could sit and talk while we played the game, but we couldn't play the same game at the same time and progress through it as a team rather than sit and talk as one person gets screwed by a redstone golem and the other person just absolutely smoked the crap out of it.
Yeah. That was one thing that really destroyed that game.
And it took them, was it a year or like a month? I
It
don't
was
remember
it was
the
multiple
length
months, but
to get cross-platform capabilities, which they, I don't think it would have been. I am not a game developer. I'll put that first. I don't with what Microsoft does. I don't think it would have
I
been insanely difficult to make
with
it cross-platform
with
on release.
I feel
If they
like
had to push it back, oh well.
I feel like with Microsoft's funding and the fact that they've done cross-platform before. I feel like they should have been able to have cross-platform at release.
Yeah, they should have.
Like that's something they should have really considered. Was that I feel like that would have helped the game out a lot, but it didn't.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that dude, that just made me realize I'm pretty sure I bought that DLC, but then never played it because the content didn't. I bought the season pass for like $10, but the DLC didn't come out for like a couple months later, and I had no drive to play the game because of that.
All right, I have another topic. We've
Okay.
talked about games we're excited about and the oversaturation of the market. Now, what's something not on the market that you really wish was?
Not on the market.
I will go
Okay.
first to explain more what I mean.
All right.
I have always wanted a PvP arena shooter where the main draw of it is that you have a deck of cards that serves as your bullets, kind of like
Oh,
I think the name is Neon Abyss. I don't think it's Neon Abyss.
it's no. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is it
It's the
Slay the
one
Spire?
speedrunning game with
Is
the
that what you're thinking
demons.
about?
No,
And
but I mean,
anyways,
kind of Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
But the card concept of Slay the
All right,
Spire.
hold on. I'll
anyways.
be right back. Okay, so anyway, one, like game idea I've always had floating around in my head
Mhm.
is a arena FPS PvP shooter
Mhm.
where instead of guns or any weapons like that, you have cards that cast spells and those do something. They can be like one's a grappling hook and
Ooh.
one's a, like sniper rifle. And part of the game is of course playing the game. And then another part is the deck building aspect, like what kind of build do you want to go for and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Where I could see that being
That's
taken is like a D&D esque shooter game,
yeah.
like either like character deck development with you can make your character be yours, almost like a class customization. You can make
I will be
characters
completely
and
honest.
stuff.
Is probably subconsciously influenced by D&D, unbeknownst to me.
True.
Because I know for sure that that idea came up after I started playing D&D.
That'd be cool though. Be really cool.
Would be.
Kind of like if I were to describe the game, I'm thinking Clash Royale X Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2 X
Oh, okay.
uh
What?
Overwatch. Yep, that's what I would say.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, I
That's
can
fair.
see that. I'd kind of like to, for my idea, build off of the fact of like making the characters your own and whatever. This idea that I have in mind, I know it'll never happen because money, but I
Oh, I'm
think
sure it won't.
I think it'd be cool to like have all the developers out there come together and let each other use all the characters and just make one huge game where like you can either like play as certain characters in the gaming multiverse or make your own like however you want like with anything out there and just like either have a story to build off of throughout the different games or just have like an online type open world PvP or whatever where you can
I
explore
think
the different gaming universes and whatnot.
I think somebody
Yeah.
watched Ready Player One recently.
I have not.
Um,
Shut up.
that's what. No, it's okay. That'd be really cool.
What are we gonna get? Like a Tabby Slime v Rays
Look,
kind of fight?
it's probably never gonna happen because like, the publishers want to make their own money and don't want to work together, but that'd be
Yeah.
really cool to see, I feel like.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. That
Es-
is really cool. Kind of like at a loss for words at that.
Ready Player One.
I don't know how you. I don't know how you continue off of that. That's just
Um,
kind of like that's kind of everything just wrapped into one.
My
yeah.
bad, guys.
Yeah.
No,
It's
it's
like
good.
one big.
I got one idea.
I that could probably help with the saturation.
It could.
Something like
I
that.
You
also
think?
I think that kind of game would overshadow every other kind of game, and it just make everything else obsolete. So
It would have to be a thing where
Okay,
it's a
okay.
one-time release. There wouldn't be able to be
Hold on.
sequels or whatever.
Here's how you solve the oversaturation and it being like too big of a piece on the market. Make it $1,000. Okay, okay, hear me out, right? You could play with every video game character ever. It would be the ultimate gaming experience, but it costs $1,000.
Okay, I see it. The only issue I see with that is at that point there would not. I mean, other than the people that are stupid rich, there would not be a very large player community.
Yeah, and I feel like that's partially the point.
That's fair.
I mean, other than it being kind of like I don't want to say impossible, but kind of impossible due to like
Yeah.
technology limitations of
Yeah,
our time.
like I said, it would never happen, but it'd be a cool concept.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So my idea, not as massive as Eli's, unfortunately, but so it's kind of been made before, but not well. uh, a massive MMO space game. So No Man's Sky, but better, I guess, and way more expansive because No Man's Sky, your whole goal is to just get to the center of the universe, right?
hmm
And
Yeah.
it gets super repetitive. I've played it before, but yeah, just a massive MMO in space.
You know what? That's
That's
fair.
about it.
That reminds me that I need to play Elite Dangerous more.
Is that an actual game? God dang it!
It is. You fly a spaceship,
Wow.
and if you grind it out enough, you can visit our solar system.
This game costs money.
Dang. All right.
I'm gonna look on
Um,
Steam.
So another one. So one last thing, kind of game idea that I'd like to see. It's kind of
$30.
pulling from concepts of several other games, but I'd like
mhm.
to see a kind of satisfactory-ish factory game where
Mhm.
it's first person like Satisfactory is, but instead of building just the machines as one lump sum recipe, you have to like build it by parts. Kind of like in Minecraft, if you were to build an automation thing, you have to do it one block at a time.
Mhm.
Say you make a drill to just drill for resources, but you have to make each individual part. You have to make the hydraulic to lower the drill into the ground. You'll have to make the wiring to actually make it work, the casing and its supports, the foundation it sits on, the drill
Mhm.
itself, and an area to put the resources it mines instead of making one recipe and placing down a drill.
So, are you
Ethan,
talking like a Terraria-esque crafting tree, but for Satisfactory?
Kind of.
Ethan, I agree with you completely.
Honestly, that's
I think Mechanica tried to do it, but the issue with Mechanica is that the developer just disappeared one day and nobody knows what he's up to now.
fair.
Yeah. Like
After he
as
ruined the coding system too.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I'm pulling up my Steam page.
Like, I mean, that game, that idea sounds pretty cool. Like, I feel like there could be a lot of hours spent into that as well. A lot of dedication.
Mhm.
More than your
Uh,
Factorio hours.
that's what I'm looking for. Let me
I
see.
would spend more hours than I did in Factorio in that game. Because my issue
Wait,
with Satisfactory is that it's not optimized very well for lower end devices like the one I have.
Yeah.
I
And my
don't.
issue with Mechanica is that it's like pretty much unplayable in its current state
And
because there's nothing to do.
and the developer disappeared.
And the developer disappeared.
I'm not the biggest fan of
And then
Satisfactory really either. I've got 5.5 hours in it. I've got 2.5 in Mechanica, and then
mhm.
here's the bombshell: 1,129.6 hours in Factorio.
Gosh, dude, you'd probably have like 5,000 in your idea.
My goodness.
Gosh,
Well,
dude, that's crazy.
and wow. I like what modded Minecraft tries to do with things like the create mod and stuff like that, but then it comes into the limitation of, you're trying to make this new thing in a known system. And when the known system limitates the thing you're trying to create, why do you stick in the known system? And the reason they stick in the known system is because it's known and they don't have to get their name out and it's easier to do work on it. That's why I think like something new other than a modded Minecraft, even though modded Minecraft is great, something new would be better because they're not limited by Minecraft's limitations.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
I feel
fair.
like Minecraft does a really good job in that aspect too. They keep
Oh yeah,
they keep it they keep refreshing it and bringing these updates. Granted, there's a lot of spacing in between them,
They're
but
yearly. It's not
yeah.
bad.
It's about a year.
they keep adding new things to their game, and they keep optimizing it and keep making it better and better and better. And they've been doing it 10 years. It might
Something
be.
like that.
I think it's 12 years now, almost
Something like that.
12 or 13 years that they've been building on this same project.
Right.
If
And
But
if
it's
I were to think
Yeah.
of one game that has the most content but takes up the least amount of space on my hard drive, it's Minecraft.
that's fair.
1,000,000%.
Like it's crazy how they optimize it so well with how much they update it. I mean, like not how much like how much content they release every year. Like
It's really just like voxels. That's all it is. It's pretty easy to put voxels in a text file
okay,
because all you need is the position of each block and then the type each block is.
that's fair. Like I feel like them releasing updates yearly is really impressive. Like especially when they had to rewrite like the whole game for the Caves and Cliffs update.
right.
Yeah, fair.
Mhm.
Like they had to rework the entire generation system, how the world works and everything, but they still got that out in like 2 years, I think.
They split up into
Mi-
two parts, but yeah.
M- Minecraft's game model where they, update with stuff the fans want shouldn't work. You see stuff like Half-Life 2 where they tried something like that out where they would be like, "Okay, tell us how you want this story to go and in the next month we'll make the game." That didn't
Yeah,
work out. There were so many delays. Minecraft shouldn't work.
but it just
And
does.
that's part of the reason why it takes like, a year to get content out because it takes time really to make a game
Yeah.
because it's more than just, put some numbers in a test file and then suddenly you have a new block.
Yeah. I like that they go off of what the community wants to for the most part. Like especially with the mob voting.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
Niffer
respectable.
on top, baby.
Real.
But
Well,
yeah, so I think to wrap this up, if you were to describe the future of video games in one word, what would it be?
That is difficult.
I got one. I'm gonna go with intriguing.
ooh, one word. Probably innovative because they're
Oh, bright. Future's bright.
I'm gonna go with more hyphen fishing hyphen mini hyphen games.
Bro, mini fishing games that fishing mini games can only make me think of Yakuza when it made my game crash each time I tried the fishing mini game.
All right.
All right.
So next episode, we'll have someone else come up with a topic, and I
Yeah.
think we'll see you there.
Yep,
Alright.
this is
This
great.
has been the Parking Lots Lads podcast. Thank you for listening. You can find us where we are. I'm Toast on Rye.
I'm Soy.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Ethan.
We're the parking lot
Thank you for
lads.
listening. Have a good day.
Podcast out.